how to use this microbiome project template so that you can edit all of the slides and kind of think about your pitch, and then how to actually put everything together, what each slide should contain, where do you find the images, things like that. So you were all given this template. Here you want to state who you are, give some kind of a short and specific name to your project. Don't turn it into a research project. This is a pitch. So you're trying to convince people that this is a product, a service, some kind of a dashboard maybe that you have created. And this is useful because it produces value for the end user. Maybe it's a business. So you kind of outline what is the project summary in a few kind of simple points. And then you go into what your analysis is and how that turns into a specific solution. So instead of kind of talking about these general slides, let's take a look at an example that we put together here with psoriasis. So Narika shared with all of you a list of projects that have already been analyzed. We have dashboards, we have the analysis results. You can kind of take that. Typically there's an associated publication that you can start your literature review from. So let's take a look at how we took one of those projects and kind of assembled the different parts into this presentation. So what came out of this short analysis, we weren't really trying to complete everything according to what maybe the amount of time that is needed to actually fully complete this project, but just to give you an example, we came up with this idea, probiotic bath supplement for psoriasis treatment. So here you can put your logo, your university logo, your team logo if you have, or maybe a company logo, and you can write out your names or your team name, something like that. Here, if you want to change the background image, if you're not clicked on anything, you can click on background and you can actually choose an image from your computer or even just search on Google. So the goal here is just to help you kind of put something together that is visually appealing and also relevant to what your project is about. So after analyzing this data, we started talking about, well, why exactly are we talking about bath and how does the psoriasis skin condition, what is that problem and what exactly are we going to, how exactly are we going to address that problem? So this is just a summary, kind of like an abstract if you're writing a publication. Here we're talking about the problem background. So how many people, how much money is being spent on this problem, showing that this is a significant problem that needs the solution that we're going to present. This is the solution. And the solution is really to take something that is already on the market, bath salts, and add a probiotic supplement to it that specifically focuses on patients with psoriasis because they already use some kind of water-based treatment a lot of times. And we identified this strain that we thought was interesting because it could be sourced fairly economically and we think could be effective in water. So the objective of these projects is to use evidence from public domain data to show that we can extract meaningful insights and then potentially work on those insights further. So we took a bio project after doing literature review. We identified a data set, we studied it, and we identified a particular strain, confirmed that this is the strain also that was mentioned in the relevant publication. But we also found some other interesting pathogenic bacteria that we could try and think about. So then taking this insight, what we did is we did additional literature review. And so here we show an abstract, a particular paper that talks about finding a specific strain of a bacteria called Bacillus pumilus H2 that they use. They characterize the active substance that has the potential to be used in aquaculture for fish. And so we think that a similar approach could work for skin, again, in water. And that's why we identified a producer of this particular Bacillus pumilus. This is what it looks like. And we think it's a feasible proposal, right? So our team Here I just wanted to point out, if you want to replace these images, right, it's kind of nice how they did it in circles. So what you can do is you can select it and just click on replace image. And for example, upload from computer, I'm just going to upload my image, my picture. So here you can replace your, all of your team members. And try to put something relevant. For example, data scientist with an interest in microbiome, right? That could be. You can also put your links to your profile or something like that right here. Milestones. So this is just a pitch. This pitch helps you put together the evidence, the idea, kind of shape it, form it, do some literature review. What are you going to do after that, right? So if let's say this is a successful proposal and the proposal, you're interested, you're committed to it, your team members are as well, maybe somebody tells you, oh, this is an interesting research project, or maybe somebody thinks it's an interesting company idea, right? You want to take it further. How long would it take you to actually work on this project? And so here are some ideas about thinking about that. You can, for example, start studying and complete literature review. There's a lot to know in this area, in this domain. You want to make sure that you're not just, taking the first thing that pops out of you. You want to see what other people have done in this space. You might want to reach out to potential partners. You might want to think about testing, extensive testing on animal models. There's some animal models that are designed for this kind of skin conditions. And then, you might want to think, what is the launch date? When are you going to be able to launch something like that? After you have addressed all of these points, you now want to focus on supplemental information that you can refer to as you're going through your pitch if somebody asks you a question. And since not everyone is going to come up with a question right away, you might even want to think of some questions that you yourself are asking and maybe you have already addressed because you have asked those questions as you worked on this project. So here you can list out some of those questions and then provide some details on how you kind of got to where you are, what types of considerations you might have about maybe how to test this, how to test this on animal models, how to collect additional samples. Maybe you would like to do that. Some literature review, for example, there's a lot of systematic literature reviews out there. Just searching for systematic literature reviews on psoriasis and skin microbiome, we identified some papers that are summarized right here. So this might be an interesting kind of additional piece of information. You might also want to think about how your product is going to be used by your target audience. For example, here we are going to work with a bath products company and provide them our probiotic supplement, maybe specifically designed and engineered for this problem, and that's how we're going to deliver it to the consumer. And then another important question is why now, or why is this an important problem to solve? Why is this relevant, today? And so here we just have an example. The majority of the people have mild psoriasis, and only about 2% of them use some kind of specialized treatment. And so the rest are trying all kinds of, alternative approaches. And so you can see right here where there is mild kind of preclinical psoriasis is an opportunity to really change the way that it develops into much more severe conditions that are very difficult to treat. It's important to refer to these reference publications, so have a slide or maybe keep a document of all of your references. This will be important to show that you've done extensive research, and also add here the specifics. So for example, this is the dashboard that we use. So if somebody wants to look at it, they can see how to find all of your data. And finally, your conclusion slide. So on this slide, add your contact information, maybe add your link to your project that you have submitted on Omics Logic, and of course, the title and your team name. That's it.